Hi everybody, in this video we are going to discuss about the another disease called as the filariasis. It is well known as elephantiasis. So today in this video we are going to discuss about a very common disease that is called as filariasis, or otherwise it is well known as elephantiasis, or otherwise it is also called as human filariasis. Okay, human filariasis. And this disease is caused by a pathogen. Okay, this disease is caused by a pathogen called as Wuchereria Bancrofti, Wuchereria Bancrofti and Wuchereria malai. Okay, Wuchereria malai. So these two are very common worms that infect and cause the disease called as filariasis in India. Okay, these two are very common in India, causing the disease called as filariasis. But otherwise, there are many other worms, many round worms. There are many other round worms which are responsible causing the disease called as filariasis. But in India, these are very common ones called as Wuchereria Bancrofti and Wuchereria malai, which are very common in India, causing the disease called as filariasis. And this disease is very dreadful disease. It is very dreadful disease. First, it will be it cannot be identified. It may be there infecting in the children, and then later on, as later in the years, it may be identified that that particular child is being infected with this particular disease called as filariasis. And this disease is very common, infecting the lymphatic vessels, which means here if you are seeing, the lymphatic vessels that are present in our body are being infected with this particular organism, okay, called as Wuchereria Bancrofti, causing what? Filariasis. So here, lymphatic vessels and also the other organs like genital organs, okay, genital organs can also be infected by this particular Wuchereria Bancrofti, causing filariasis. So here, when the genital organs or lymphatic vessels are infected by this particular organism or pathogen, it starts accumulating in these organs the lymph. Okay, lymph, or otherwise we can say now lymph is accumulated in these organs, and due to which these organs temporarily or permanently they may get disabled, and that person cannot move from one person to another person. And especially if it is in the humans, men, okay, if it is in the man, okay, then it will be infecting the genital organs, okay, genital organs and even the legs, okay, genital organs and legs. So if it is in the woman, it will be infecting the legs, okay, it will be infecting the legs. Where in the legs means it is in the lymphatic vessels. So here genital organs means it is the scrotum sac or testis we say, okay, scrotum of the male, where they will be enlarged in size, So genital organs and the legs, okay, genital organs and the legs will be enlarged in size. So because they are enlarged, they will be appearing like the organs of an elephant. So otherwise we can say that like they will be appearing like the legs of that particular person or that individual will be appearing like the legs of an elephant. So that's why we are calling this as what? Elephantiasis. So here we have to remember that when this particular pathogen enters inside into the body, it attacks the lymphatic vessels and the genital organs. There it will accumulate the lymph. The lymph cannot move from those places, and it starts multiplying in the lymphatic vessels. So here, when the genital organs and the legs of that individual will be enlarged in size, and the legs will be appearing like the elephant legs. So that's why calling it as what? Elephantiasis. And we should remember that this may be infected in the children, but manifestation of this disease may be appearing very late in the other part of our life, So this should be kept in mind. And here there are different scientists who have discovered, okay, who played a crucial role in discovering this particular disease, known as the filariasis. Now, if you are looking at the discovery of this particular disease, okay, let us now identify that scientists who have played a crucial role in discovery of this disease. There is one scientist called as Otto Edward Otto Edward Henry Wuchereria. Okay, Wuchereria. Okay, this is the name of the scientist, Otto Edward Henry Wuchereria. It is this particular person for the first time identified. Okay, he is the one who identified or discovered the larva of Wuchereria. Okay, larva of Wuchereria. Okay, pathogen. Okay, he discovered the larva of Wuchereria pathogen. And there is another scientist. Okay, let us say like this. There is another scientist called as Joseph Bancrofti. Okay, Joseph Bancrofti. It is he who discovered or suggested. Okay, he suggested that it is being transmitted through mosquitoes. Okay, suggested its transmission. Okay, its transmission by mosquitoes. Its transmission by mosquitoes. It is he. Who is that? Joseph Bancrofti. Okay, suggested its transmission by mosquitoes. And later on, there is another scientist called as Louis. Okay, there is another scientist called as Louis. He identified the microfilariae. He identified the microfilariae. What is this microfilariae? They are the immature worms. Okay, they are the immature worms of the Wuchereria Bancrofti. Wuchereria Bancrofti. Okay, so these are being discovered by whom? Louis, in the peripheral blood vessels. In the peripheral blood vessels. So here we have to remember these three scientists who have played a crucial role in identifying this particular disease. And now at the same time we are saying that transmission is, or how it spreads from one person to another person. It is, we are using the word transmission, spreading from one person to another person. This disease is transmitted by different types of mosquitoes that are there. It may be there present in the female Culex mosquito, or Aedes aegypti mosquito, or female Anopheles mosquito. In all these three different types of mosquitoes, there will be the presence of what? Wuchereria Bancrofti. But here in India, if you are seeing this particular disease causing pathogen, what is that? Disease, Filariasis disease causing pathogen is Wuchereria Bancrofti, is being infected by the female Culex mosquitoes. When a female Culex mosquito comes and bites a healthy person, okay, if that female Culex mosquito is containing or carrying this particular pathogen, then it will inject this Wuchereria Bancrofti into the bloodstream. Thereby, this pathogen will travel and settle in the lymphatic vessels, lymphatic nodes, and thereby it will be multiplying and it will cause the disease called as what? Elephantiasis. So here, please remember, it is not only the female Culex mosquito, but there are also other mosquitoes which can cause this disease. Okay, which can cause this disease, but it is mainly by what? Female Culex mosquitoes in India. Okay, this should be the answer. Female Culex mosquitoes. Okay, we have to remember this now. Female Culex mosquitoes. So we have to remember that transmission of this disease causing pathogen is by female Culex mosquitoes. Female Culex mosquitoes, which is identified by Sir Patrick Manson. Okay, Sir Patrick Manson is the one of the scientists who have discovered that this disease is carried by the female Culex mosquitoes. Female Culex mosquitoes. Sir Patrick Manson. And here are other points that we have to keep in mind. This disease is confined to certain regions only. This disease is confined to certain regions only. It is mostly confined to subtropical, or let us say tropical and subtropical regions. It is more spreading, or it will be there identified more in tropical and subtropical regions, okay, of the world. Okay, tropical and subtropical regions, we can see that this disease is spreading. And please remember, it is not found at all. Okay, it is not found. Okay, not seen. Let us say in simple, it is not seen in some other regions also. In some other regions, like if you are seeing in polar regions, you will not see this disease at all. Okay, polar regions, you will not see this disease at all. And there is another one. Okay, in Europe, you will not see this disease at all. And here, even in North America, okay, in North America, we will not see this disease, presence of this disease or spreading of this disease, or let us say people infected with this disease will not be seen in these regions. Okay, this is another point that we have to remember. So, tropical and subtropical regions are the most important parts that are being infected with this. And if you are seeing in India, if it is in India, it is in the southern part. Okay, in southern part in the sea coast. Okay, in southern part in the sea coast regions, we will be seeing the people are more infected with this particular disease. In the sea coast, in the south, in the sea coast regions, it is being seen spreading more in these regions. So that is another point we have to keep in mind. Okay, another point that we have to keep in mind when we talk about India. So again, we have to remember that this particular organism or the pathogen Wuchereria Bancrofti is digenetic. It is digenetic. It is dimorphic. Okay, it is dimorphic, and it is endoparasite. Endoparasite. It is an endoparasite, and here you know already the word digenetic. Unlike Ascaris, this is digenetic. This organism, Wuchereria Bancrofti, is also belonging to the phylum Nematoda. It is also belonging to the phylum Nematoda. Means what? Thread-like cylindrical worms. Thread-like cylindrical worms. Nematoda means thread-like cylindrical worms. So here, Ascaris lumbricoids, that which we studied, and Wuchereria Bancrofti are belonging to the phylum Nematoda, which means thread-like cylindrical worms. And here, but in the case of Ascaris lumbricoids, we said that it is monogenetic, which means it is completing its whole life cycle within one host. But here, if you are looking at this particular Wuchereria Bancrofti, it is digenetic, which means it requires two hosts. It requires two hosts. So, if you are looking at these two hosts, what are these two hosts? Let us see now what are these two hosts. What are these two hosts? What are the two hosts? The definitive host. Okay, definitive host. Definitive host. Here, definitive host can also be called as what? The primary host. Also called as the primary host. Here, the definitive or the primary host is the humans. Okay, is the humans. Please remember this. Definitive or the primary host is the humans, in which the sexual life cycle of that pathogen will be completed. Sexual life cycle. Okay, sexual life cycle of this particular pathogen will be completed in the humans, which are called as what? Definitive or primary host. And the other host, okay, the other host is the intermediate host. Otherwise, in simple, we call it as what? Secondary host. Okay, secondary host. Okay, secondary host we call it as. So here, the secondary host is nothing but the mosquitoes. Okay, Culex mosquitoes. Okay, it is the mosquito. Okay, in the mosquito, it is completing its life cycle. Okay, intermediate host. Another word is secondary host. What is that secondary host? It is the mosquito, Culex mosquito, in which it will be completing the other part of the life cycle. Other part of the life cycle means what? It is asexual life cycle. Okay, its asexual life cycle will be completed in the mosquito. So here we have to remember that once we use the word digenetic, please remember that particular pathogen is using two hosts to complete its life cycle. And the first host is what? Definitive or primary host, that is the humans, in which what is completed? Sexual life cycle is completed. Sexual life cycle is completed. And the intermediate host means secondary host. What is that secondary host? It is the female culex mosquito, in which asexual life cycle will be completed. Asexual life cycle will be completed. So here again we have to remember that another word that which we use, okay, another word that which we use is dimorphic. Okay, another word is dimorphic. Here the word dimorphic means sexes are separate. Okay, sexes are separate. Okay, sexes are separate. Okay, here sexes are separate means what? There will be male worm and also the female worm will be there. Male and female worms will be there. And these male and female worms, when they are present separately, we are calling them as what? They are dimorphic. And it is male worm or female worm, we also should remember that they are what? They are the pseudocoelomates. Okay, pseudocoelomates. Okay, please remember this another word, pseudocoelomates. Okay, this is another word that you have to remember. So when we say that there are male and female worms, we have to remember that they are coiled with each other and they are present in the lymphatic vessels. They are tightly coiled with each other and present in the lymphatic vessels. Scientists have discovered in their research and said that there will be 6 pheromones. Okay, there will be 6 pheromones that are released by the female. Okay, released by the female to attract the male worm. To attract the male worm. And how the male worm will identify these 6 pheromones that are released by the female? How it is by it has the male worm. Okay, the male worm will be having. Okay, the male worm we will see now the 6 pheromones how they are attracted. So as I said that there are male worms and female worms which are tightly coiled with each other. And the female worm will be producing 6 pheromones. Okay, 6 pheromones by which the male is it is attracted. The male is attracted by the 6 pheromones released by the female. So that's why the male worm, okay, the male worm will be having chemosensory receptors. Okay, chemosensory receptors will be there. Chemosensory receptors will be there. These chemosensory receptors present in the male worm will help in attracting, will help in being attracted by the 6 pheromones released by the female worm, and thereby the male worm involves in the process of copulation. Okay, helps in the process of copulation. How the copulation will be taking place? You know that the male worm will have the spicules, finger-like projections, which help in opening the vulva of the female worm. Okay, the male worm is having what? The spicules. Okay, it has the spicules, and with the help of these spicules, it will open the female worm. Okay, female worm vulva. Okay, female worm vulva to deposit the male gametes, which means the sperms will be deposited for the process of fertilization. So please remember that there are 6 pheromones that are produced by the female to attract what? The male worm. Once it is attracted, now with the help of the spicules present in the male worm, it opens the vulva of the female worm and deposits the gametes, male gametes, for the process of fertilization. This is how the copulation will be taking place. And if you are looking at this Wuchereria Bancrofti, okay, which is Wuchereria Bancrofti, it is an endoparasite. We see it is an endoparasite. Endoparasite means what? Which lives inside. Okay, which lives inside the host. It is living inside the host. And another interesting point regarding the Wuchereria Bancrofti is that there is no reservoir. In some diseases, what we said is monkey is the reservoir, we said. Okay, for malarial parasite Plasmodium, we said the monkey is the reservoir. But this particular disease, okay, for this pathogen, okay, Wuchereria Bancrofti, there is no reservoir which is present. In conclusion, let us remember that this particular pathogen, Wuchereria bancrofti, belongs to the phylum, Nematoda. It belongs to the phylum Nematoda. You know the meaning of nematoda, means thread-like cylindrical worms. So Wuchereria bancrofti belongs to what? To the phylum Nematoda, and class Phasmedia. Class Phasmedia. Phasmedia. It is the class to which this Wuchereria bancrofti belongs. And the simple points that we have studied, that please remember that this Wuchereria bancrofti, Wuchereria bancrofti is digenetic. It is digenetic. It is dimorphic. It is dimorphic. It is pseudocoelomate. It is pseudocoelomate. Endoparasite. It is as present as endoparasite. Endoparasite. Digenetic, dimorphic, pseudocoelomate, endoparasite, and histozoic. Histozoic means what? It is living in the host tissues. It is living in the host tissues. It is histozoic. So these are some words that we have to keep in mind when we are discussing about the Wuchereria bancrofti. Digenetic, dimorphic, pseudocoelomate, endoparasite, and histozoic. And this disease is spreading from one person to another person by female culex mosquitoes, which are discovered by Sir Patrick Manson. And the last one, what are the symptoms of this disease? As we already said, there will be swelling of legs, swelling of legs and scrotum. In the males, even including the scrotum along with the legs will be swelling. And please remember, manifestation of this disease will be seen in the later part of the life, not immediately. But the infection may be caused during the childhood. Immediately this disease may not be appearing or showing the symptoms, but it may take few years to show the symptoms of swelling of legs and scrotum, and thereby they temporarily or permanently they will be disabled, and it produces severe pain. Extreme pain will be there in this case, because of the swelling of the legs. Extreme pain will be there. Swelling of the scrotum causes extreme pain, and they will be permanently disabled. Extreme pain will be there, and they are permanently disabled. And here we also should remember that these people cannot move from one place to another place because of the enlargement of the organs. So we have to remember these symptoms of this disease is what? Swelling of legs and scrotum. Swelling of legs and scrotum. And this leads to body disfigurement. And this leads to what? Body disfigurement. Body disfigurement. It leads. It leads to body disfigurement. And this is another point we have to keep in mind. So these are some that we have to keep in mind when we are talking about the Wuchereria bancrofti. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the life cycle of this Wuchereria bancrofti. Thank you so much.